Hello, beautiful collective, and welcome into your daily inspiration and affirmations for Wednesday, January 22nd. So happy that you're here with me, spending a little time as a fam. I'm actually pretty stoked today. I don't know about you, but yesterday's, energy and the spiritual awakening and all of that jazz, it pumped me up for today and for the week ahead. So I have tons of energy. I am so renewed, so excited. You might be hearing that in my voice. I'm just stoked. So, without further ado, let's get into our reading for today. We're going to start with the energy cards. Hopefully, you made it through all of that okay, and you figured out a few things about yourself that have propelled you forward in some new energy. I'm going to do a video. It just came to me that I should do a video about what a spiritual awakening actually is, um, and go into more like further details about that. So look for that video coming up soon. I've got a few videos to put out before that one, but I will record it today while I have the momentum going. All right, so I have pre-shuffled all the cards and I have tapped into the collective and all of my ancestors, my guides, my spirit team to assist me for this reading, as well as the angels. Spirit guides and ancestors, what is the collective energy today? What energy is the collective experiencing today? Oh, there it is. Let's see what we have. The thinking woman in reverse. Okay. Let's get one more for all the men in the collective. Although this could tie into somebody you know as well. So let's just get one more. One more on the energy of the collective today. What is the energy of the collective today? Oh, we got two. Okay, well, okie dokie then. That's what I was trying to say, but it didn't really want to come out. Okay, they came out sideways. The temple path and adjacent possibilities. Okay, so this is the thinking woman, and it was in reverse. And then we have the temple path. Doesn't want to focus, but we're going to make it focus. If only it worked that easily. Okay, well, it is what it is today. And adjacent possibilities, you can see in this card all of the different doors, all of the different opportunities available. Okay, very good. Seems as though people are being presented with some possibilities, some options, opportunities. All right, so I'm going to put that one back in reverse. Interesting energy for today. Okay, I am just going to read that card for the thinking woman because it's in reverse, and there is a reversal in here, so 47. Okay, so reversed. This card reverse could represent a difficult time for your own personal growth. You may be feeling confused about your personal purpose or disconnected from your heart's true path. Look within and open up to your own inner guidance. Trust your intuition about what you need to learn in order to move on. The thinking woman reverse could also indicate a woman who is misleading you or giving you misinformation of some sort. Be aware and set boundaries. Remember, your own spirit always has your best interest at heart. Okay, so, and that's kind of what I was getting. It could be one or the other. somebody in your life who, if you're resonating with being a masculine, then it could be a feminine, or it could also be a feminine energy. Because again, there are men who are operating in wounded feminine energy rather than masculine energy, right? So take that as it resonates for you. It could also mean that you're personally struggling with the path ahead. And that would make sense with this temple card, right? So it's a reminder from your spirit team that, hey, the temple path, which is, the ascension path itself, um, this is a gentle reminder to, move away from all that stuff that is not serving you. Get out of your mind and back into your heart center and reevaluate, the path forward. How are you going to continue to take steps to get onto that path again and out of your mind? Because often, and this may have to do with that spiritual awakening that just happened to the collective. Often, when we have a setback, we view it as we're not doing something right, that something we're doing is wrong. If, especially if we made a lot of progress in one area of our lives and then we have a setback, it's just reaffirming to the ego. This is kind of what these next two videos are going to be about. Um, it reaffirms to the ego that we need to go back into self-preservation mode and maybe start thinking about going backwards. And, we might even get thoughts of like the old path or the old way was easier than this, why did I ever have a spiritual awakening? Why am I choosing this path when, you know, the other way was easier? And that could mean many different things. I mean, we like to put ourselves in illusions sometimes. We like to delude our own selves and say like, well, you know, I was not happy by any means, but it was easier being asleep than it is to be awake, and that may be true. But ultimately you're not going to be satisfied, you're not going to be happy, you're not going to be fulfilled, or whatever it was that you've been experiencing in the past. Um, you may be considering some of these setbacks as, well, you may be resonating with them too deeply from a past version of yourself. Let's put it that way. Um, these setbacks aren't designed to make you feel less than or that you haven't made progress. They're there to show you all the little bits of yourself that still need to be worked on. And so many of you seem to be in your head about it. Some of you may have somebody in your environment that is still causing chaos and issues, and that needs to be assessed and reevaluated on how to best get on your temple path, how to best get into that alignment, that state of peace, right? And that means that sometimes saying no to people and things that aren't aligned with that path is necessary. And this is where this adjacent possibilities comes in for all of you, is that you have been given an opportunity. And so that opportunity came in the form of a spiritual awakening, which could be perceived as a setback, and that's got you up in your head. For some of you, it's got you literally up in your head thinking about, the past and determining whether the future is right for you to be on this path or not. But the possibility for um, alignment is there. And that's what this adjacent possibilities is telling you, is that the possibility for alignment in one or more areas of your life is there, but you need to consciously choose. Okay? You need to get out of your head and back into your body. And, you know, the favorite card that the angels like to throw out this year is grounding. Ground that energy down, get out of your head, and then you can see the truth. And you can see that what happened to you in the past few days was just there as an opportunity for you to actually go inwards and learn something about it, about yourself, and then choose consciously whether you want to continue that part of yourself, that aspect of your life or of yourself, continue bringing that into your future, or if it's something that you can now leave behind, or someone, or a situation, whatever it may be, um, because the time is right for you to create a change. And as soon as you release it, as soon as you take the opportunity that is presented today in today's energy, as soon as you release it, you're going to feel completely different. All of that energy, all of that weight is going to be lifted off of you. So that is what they're trying to say. Let's get into our affirmations. Good start. Good start. We're already 10 minutes in, almost 11. So, all right. Ancestors, spirit guides, which affirmations are going to resonate most with the collective today on Wednesday? Please and thank you. Which affirmations will resonate most with the collective today? Whoa, there we go. We got them. We got them all in one shot. That's kind of nice. I like when that happens. Okay. All right. So the first one is, and if you're new here, oh, we're blurry. I wish there was a way that, the camera just told me, hey, we're blurry. If you're new here, I'll read the affirmations first, and then I will slow them down so that you can repeat them. And then at the end, I kind of tie in the energy, sometimes in the middle, sometimes along the way, and sometimes just all at the end. I tie in the energy of the affirmations into this reading as well. So you get, a double shot of awesomeness. All right, so the first one is I no longer create attachments to people's pain. Instead, I grant them the gift and space to feel and experience it so they have the opportunity to learn from it. So I'll slow it down. I no longer create attachments to people's pain. Instead, I grant them the gift and space to feel and experience it so they have the opportunity to learn from it. All right, so the second one is I am powerfully magnetic at all times. My options are limitless. So we'll slow it down. I am powerfully magnetic at all times. My options are limitless. Okay, and the last one. I have let go of all the discouraging things I have been told or believed about myself. I am so capable of being happy. So we'll slow that down. I have let go of all of the discouraging things I've been told or believed about myself. I am so capable of being happy. That's right, we are, because we are an amazing family here, full of light. Okay, so let's get our money magic manifestation cards. Spirit guides and ancestors. Which cards are the most meaningful for the collective energy today, Wednesday, January 22nd, please and thank you. What are the most meaningful and impactful affirmations for the collective today? There they are. All three came out at the same time again. 333. Oh, no way. Thank you for the message. 333. We just got out. So we got three of the energy cards, three of the affirmation cards from my deck, and then from my homemade deck, and then three of the affirmation cards from the Money Magic Manifestation deck. That's awesome. I will look up that angel number in a moment. Okay. So the first one is I align my thoughts and mindset to attract money into my life. And then I'll show them all at the end. The second one is actually, yeah, I'll show them all at the end and then you can read them out loud when you see them on the screen. The second one is I am supported in my success. Yeah. And the third one, I have permission to shine and be successful. Love it. Okay, so we're going to get it to focus. There. All right. Okay, so man, my energy's high today. And I did ground myself. Okay, I'm just really happy. I'm wearing my new shirt. It says, will burn bridges and sage as needed. And I have definitely burnt a lot of bridges down along this path. I'm very happy to have done so. I think we're still a bit blurry here. Let me just get it to refocus again. Okay, yeah, now we're sharp and clear. That's the spirit. Oh, I have these cards backwards. Let's try this way. Okay, spirit, let's get a cosmic spirit message for the collective. What does the collective need to hear most? Please and thank you, spirit. What does the collective need to hear most today? That would be it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Was I just not talking about how excited I am and full of energy and that spiritual awakening was great for me? Because I did do the work, right? Afterwards, today, I did do the work and I did learn the lessons from it. And so many of you are being asked to do the same thing. Don't look at it as a setback. Don't look at it as a failure. Don't look at what just happened as anything negative. Um, learn what you needed to learn from that and then move forward with confidence and excitement. This card says, when you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride. And it's absolutely true. And that's kind of what I was basing this video, not this one, but my teaching video that I'll put out today. It's loading right now. That's what that video is all about. And so, yeah, we do need to, when we go through these spiritual awakenings, we get gifts that open up from them. We get gifts from them. It may not always be spiritual gifts. Sometimes it's other gifts. Sometimes it's just the gift of how you perceive the world can change, right? It can be a lot of different things. And so that in itself should cause excitement when you finally learn something about yourself and decide to actively change it. So whatever happened in the last few days was there to show you something, and now you get to decide whether or not you want to change that or continue bringing it forward in the next cycle. So when you are lit up about something, when you're really highly excited about something, I'm really excited to be here today. I'm really excited to spend my time with you guys today and to share my wisdom, my knowledge, and have fun with you today. That's why I'm here. That's what's lighting me up right now, right? Um, go all in, decide. If you actively want to create something new in your life, decide to go all in with all of you, not just a part of you, but all of you. If you want to change something from your past that you no longer resonate with and you want to let it go and you want to step into your future, go all in the new you. Create a new persona, create a new aspect of yourself, create a new identity, right? Identify with that only. Stop identifying with the old you. This is how you create shifts. And so this card really speaks to that and really speaks to all that we're talking about today. I love it. And you are powerfully magnetic, right? You are powerfully magnetic. And so what you want, you can draw into so long as you fundamentally believe with all your faith that that is who you are now. And that you can lay the past versions of yourself down to rest where they belong in the past. Yeah. And for those of you who are resonating with, there's still somebody in your environment who is causing issues. May not even be a woman. It could be, you could be the woman, and there could be somebody in your field that is causing you issues, understanding that you don't actually have to carry other people's burdens, carry their pain, center their world. Um, you don't have to continue to carry the attachments to the story of whatever dynamic or relationship you might have had in the past with that person. You don't have to. It's your choice. Okay, you can let it go. You can find a way out. You can find a way to drop other people's burdens and expectations of you. But again, ultimately, it's your choice. And if the idea of the temple path ahead of you and finding peace in your life and balance in your life and good things, if that lights you up, grab hold of it and don't look back. Just keep going forward. Okay? So, um, yeah, and again, there are things that we tell ourselves, right, that are discouraging us from moving forward. These are our self-imposed limiting beliefs and programs. They may be coming from other people still in our environments. They may have come from the people we've already let go of, but they're still there and they need to be acknowledged and they need to be recognized as not even your own thoughts or beliefs or programs. So again, here you have a bunch of different possibilities. It's kind of like if you grew up in North America, those choose your own adventure books from back in the day. I don't know how old you are, but I don't know if they still have them. But back in my day, we had these books and they were like choose your own adventure. Well, that's kind of the story here, is that you get to decide somewhere in your book, in your story, when to pivot, when to change. It's your choice at all times. It's your choice. You get to decide. You're in control of that. Doesn't matter how long you've been with somebody or in a certain organization or in a certain group. Doesn't matter how long you've been friends with that person or you've been at that job. Doesn't matter how ingrained, how entrenched, how difficult it's going to be possibly to get out. Because sometimes, if you're in a marriage for a long time, you've built up a lot of things, and then it can be a challenge to get out and get untrenched, unseparated from people. but it's still your choice and it is possible no matter what. I can assure you, I've been through hell and back just to be able to leave my last relationship. I've been through hell and back, but I'm super grateful for that because it taught me so much about the real me, the real world. And everything else was a total lie. And I see that now. So it doesn't matter what other people tell us. It doesn't matter what beliefs are still there, so long as we keep working on them and tell ourselves a new story. It's what we tell ourselves, what we believe that actually matters, not what society tells us, not what our religions tell us, not what our communities tell us, not what our friends tell us, not what our culture in our work environment tells us. None of that matters. What matters only is what you believe and what you choose to believe. Okay? So let's go on and we will get a spirit message. For my beautiful collective, please, spirit. Let's get a beautiful message. What does collective need to hear most today? There it is. Okay, how fitting. There's another parallel in here that we'll touch base on. Okay, so it says self-awareness is key. Right? That's what it's all about, is just becoming self-aware. Anytime that you perceive something to be bad, ask yourself why you perceive that and why it's triggering you, because it's just a lesson. It's just there to teach you something. It's not actually inherently bad unless you give that meaning to it, right? That it's bad. Take time today to go within and spend time with your soul. Go for a walk in nature and ground yourself. See, there's the other parallel there. Ground yourself. Meditate. Listen to your favorite music. Make yourself happy, right? Whatever you enjoy most, do that today. Okay? So again, we're overthinking things here, right? We are overthinking things. It's not as complicated as it seems. We are the ones who create obstacles for ourselves when we battle ourselves internally. Now, if you're still stuck in a situation with a person that you're trying to get out, they're purposely creating obstacles for you, that's different. You're at a different stage than what I'm talking about before. And so then you do need to figure out a way out. But even still, a lot of times we still make it way harder than it actually is. Once we get stuck in our head, we create all kinds of obstacles and illusions for ourselves. And it's really important to pull ourselves back down into reality by grounding our body. And again, you can do that in so many ways. You can move your body, you can dance, you can run, you can go for a walk, you can exercise, you can meditate, you can be mindful, you can do breath work. All of these things are going to pull you back into your body and therefore into reality, which then clears away the fog. Also, making sure that you're resting. If you need a nap, because your body can't regulate if you're overtired, right? And whether that's physically, mentally, or emotionally overtired, your body can't function. It can't make good decisions because it's dysregulated. Your nervous system is dysregulated at that point. So, in order to be self aware, we also have to make sure that we're taking care of our energy. And when we experience certain setbacks, that can be difficult to put ourselves first because it could feel like the world is crashing down around you when it's not. So, getting the different perspective by getting into your body again allows you to see the truth, allows you to actually mitigate all of the future potentials that are weighing against all of the past experiences and to be present right now And being present means that you're not thinking about the future, creating more anxiety and fear, and you're not pulling on your past experiences to determine and dictate your decisions in the now. It allows you to be clear and concise and accurate in how you follow through with your decisions. So it creates coherence between your brain and your heart, allowing you to actually make a decision that is from a balanced state. Okay. Now, I did forget to pull our self care activity for today. So let's go ahead and do that. What self care activity is the collective really, truly needing today? Oh, we got a whole bunch. Okay. All right. Oh, that's a huge stack. So we'll put that one back and we'll take the two that were separated from the big clump that came out. Okay. So the first one that we got is right. Let's see if we can get the highlight. Yeah. Okay, so again, this ties into what we were talking about in the beginning. So you just went through a spiritual awakening. It could have been perceived as you did something wrong, or things are going wrong in your life, or everything's falling apart, or you've probably turned against yourself in some way or another, right? And perceived it as a negative experience. That's what I'm getting from a lot of this for some of you. Actually, I'm getting the majority of you are feeling some sort of form of this thread. And so, again, tapping into what I was picking up earlier from the guides about writing it down, writing down everything that you experienced and what could you learn from that. So, a helpful tip for all of those who need to learn what it was that was trying to teach you is to call upon your higher self. Even if you can't hear your higher self, you don't feel connected to your higher self, just say, I call upon my higher self and I ask you to join me now. Thank you. I love you. Okay. Then you sit down and you start writing about what happened to you yesterday, or even the day before, or even throughout the week that led up to the big event, right? That we'll just use the word cracked you because that's kind of what happens is that these spiritual awakenings crack you open so you can see the truth. So the truth is revealed. But it takes the process of shadow work to do that, right? So now we're going into a reflection mode where we're going to write down what happened, not getting too invested emotionally into it, but what happened, how that made you feel, which is going to show you where your weaknesses were. So where you weren't standing strong and where your ego was taking control, where you gave your power away to the past versions of yourself, essentially. So that's not a bad thing. That's just your old programming, right? So don't beat yourself up over it while you're doing this either. But it allows you to look at, oh, hey, this is kind of where this is where my breaking point was. After this and this and this and this and this happened for so long, this is where I finally succumb. And now I get to choose, okay, well, what is my future self? Like, what does my future self want to experience? And am I willing to make a conscious choice to put all of my effort into not giving in to my ego at that point, no matter how strong it tries to pull me down into a past version of myself? Okay, so learn the lesson and see whether or not you wish to continue that. For those who are dealing with somebody in your environment, okay, so I think this is tying into one of the past readings that I was doing about somebody going around and slandering your name and trying to defame you, ruin your reputation, and all of that. Your reflection. Your writing is going to be a little bit different because you're at a different stage in your journey. Okay. And so Spirit is saying that what you should be focusing on is what are the wounds within yourself that attracted such a person into your experience to begin with? What wounded parts of yourself were relating with the wounded parts of that person? And when you can work through those, not only like writing them down and bringing them to your awareness, but then you can begin working through healing those aspects of self because you're at the beginning of stages of just clearing out your environment. Sometimes the universe works in ways that they will make it happen, right? So it doesn't matter which of those resonates with you, but whatever your story is, you're being asked to reflect on the wounds themselves that are making you still care about what somebody else is saying about you. Even if it's turning everybody against you, it's the wounds inside of you, your childhood wounds, that are still keeping you locked in and in indecision. It's what are keeping you in that space of severe pain and agony because those wounds are still open. So every time that that person is doing something to trigger your wounds, you're going to be in a state of feeling victimized. And the point here that Spirit's trying to indicate to you is that you need to, instead of putting your energy into defense mode, instead of putting your energy into caring, which is actually draining you from all your energy and your vital life force at this point, it's time to go inwards and resolve the wounds that are still allowing you to be anchored into all of the triggers and the what is the word, Spirit? Instead of that, you need to let go of what is being able to be anchored into. And so there are past wounds around um, being perceived correctly. Okay. And so you were likely not perceived correctly in your family growing up, and that created a big wound within you. And Spirit's saying you need to look at all these different wounds and start healing them, releasing them, like feeling them, becoming aware of them, feeling them, releasing them, and healing those aspects of yourself so it does not matter that it won't matter what anybody else does external to you because you see yourself correctly. You validate yourself. You love yourself enough to move out of situations and environments that are so detrimental to your health. It does not matter if they are family, friends, or an ex partner. It does not matter how long you've been together, how long you've known them for. The only thing that matters is that you take this act of self-compassion, self-love towards yourself and get yourself out of the situation and start healing those core wounds so that whatever somebody else does external to you will no longer affect you because you're releasing the attachments by healing those childhood wounds. You're releasing any attachment to their wounds. And we have to keep in mind that everybody is wounded. When we're on the karmic path, everybody is wounded. And the wounded people, even though they can really be hard on us, they can really try to damage us in such ways that are just mind boggling, right? We also have to understand that even the supporters of the person who is doing that to you, even they are misinformed on what love is, of what acceptance is, of what life really is. They are so wounded that they can't even see beyond the trees. They cannot see the forest that exists beyond them. They just see the trees that are in front of them. And so they're operating from an extremely wounded place too. And so we're all in that state. And right now it may not feel that way for you. You may not have that perspective because you're dealing with such deep core wounds within you that it's really hard to see that perspective. But in time you will. But first, you have to evaluate where those wounds are that are still allowing you to be hurt and victimized by the events that are happening external to you. Okay? And start closing those off. Because eventually you'll reach a point where you're like, it doesn't actually matter what they say or think about me. Because I know who I am. I know my personal value. I know what I'm worth, and I'm worth a hell of a lot more than staying in this crap. Okay? So, for those of you that resonate with that, I, that's a small stream. I think there may only be one of you who's going through that, maybe two. Could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Put something in the comments. Let me know. I love to hear about your guys' path and how you're doing, of course. So, we are a community. We're building this up. We're here for each other. I just got goosebumps. Thank you, Spirit. Confirmation. We are here for each other. That's the whole point. I don't want you to ever feel alone because you're not. You're not alone. We're here together. And I've been through it. That's why I'm here helping you now. All right. Now, we also have some other people, and this could also be both. You could tie the two together. The next card is volunteer. Okay. We'll just put it right up here so you're blinded. Yep. But then we're going to refocus again. Hopefully. I was wrong. It focused right here. Okay, just bear with me. I know that's probably making you nauseated if you tend to get seasick or motion sickness. There. Okay. Beautiful. Volunteer. Okay, so the energy that I'm getting from this card is for some of you, it may actually mean going out and volunteering. If you've had it in the back of your mind to volunteer somewhere, like maybe a nursing home or at the hospital, or, it could be anything. Maybe the SPCA or your animal shelter or something like that. Maybe it's the food bank. It could be any kind of place, but um, maybe your community is in need of something. Maybe somebody's house got destroyed in some sort of natural disaster and, you're volunteering your a room or you're volunteering in your community to rebuild it or because there's a lot going on in the world right now, right? A lot of natural disasters happening. So, for some of you, I just got goosebumps again. For some of you, this is actually like getting out there and volunteering. And for others of you, the other energy that I was picking up on is how do we give of ourselves? Now, when we're passionately creating the life of our dreams, like getting on the path, really actively making decisions to change things, being conscious of ourselves, being self aware, and making changes that are in alignment with the future that we truly want to create in the world. Um, how are we giving back? Because in order to receive our manifestations, we have to stop A, overgiving, B, giving to people, places, or situations that are just going to take from us, who don't know how to reciprocate. And C, we need to have a balanced, not just be balanced within ourselves, but have a balanced give and take out into the world in general. So if we consider what it is that we're looking to manifest, are we giving back in some way, shape, or form? Not everybody is capable of giving back in money. If what you're trying to manifest is money, right, and resources into your life, not everybody is able to give back in terms of financial resources. And so then for some of you, you're being asked to volunteer some of your time or energy in whatever capacity that you can by giving back to the world in general. It can be as simple as saying nice things to people. When you're out getting your groceries or you're getting your fuel or you're out on a walk and you see somebody, say something to them. Give them a compliment like, wow, I really love that jacket on you, or nice hair. It's really awesome, right? Giving people compliments is another way of volunteering, of giving back that love, that light, your energy, giving of yourself in a way to receive that back. Okay. So volunteering is not just a selfless act. It's good to incorporate in every aspect of your life, but how do you give back to your community? How, like I want you to consider this today. How am I giving of myself to uplift humanity as a whole? And it can be very simple acts, as simple as just words that are kind, words of affirmation. It could be random acts of kindness, holding the door for somebody, buying somebody a coffee in the lineup who's behind you. Can go, it could start at the very bottom, like the most limited amount of, resources that you have to give if you're depleted and you're empty yourself, but you're going to get that back. It could go from there, it could go all the way up to if you do have a lot of resources, buying somebody groceries. If you don't have very many resources financially, volunteering your time at a place that resonates deeply within you, that means something to you. Giving your time to people or places or things that really could use that extra help, right? It could be creating stories or content or volunteering at the school. If you have kids in school, volunteering to be one of the personal helpers one day or to go on a school field trip. It could be that you're writing a poem or writing things like just little happy things, that you can put on people's windshields on their car underneath their windshield wipers, something to brighten somebody's day. What is something that you can do easily to uplift humanity today? And how is that going to repay you in the future? Now, it's not to say that you should put energy into anything um, without expecting some sort of reciprocity, but we also shouldn't be doing it with the intent of reciprocity. So we don't give of ourselves and demand that it show up in the exact same way, or that that be given back to us in the sense of from our ego's perspective. We do it from our heart, but we know that when we do these things from our heart, when we give of ourselves from our heart, and um, we volunteer our light and our love back into the world, that we will receive that back. And so it's the understanding that we will receive it back. It's not the demands and it is not the expectation that we're doing this just to get something back. That is a toxic way of operating in the world, right? Those are toxic behaviors. And so we want to eliminate that by learning to get centered within our own energy, within our own heart space, and giving from that space. And that's when we have it returned and reciprocated. And we expect that the energy that we put out into the world is reciprocated. We don't expect it to be reciprocated in one way or another. That's for the universe to decide, not for us. But we expect that our time and our energy and our love is valuable. And this is the whole point of coming back to yourself, is that you do learn this about yourself. And when you do, then it is given back to you. It's reciprocated to you by the universe and the world around you. And you don't have to be forceful about it. You just give freely of yourself. And the universe returns it tenfold, right? So, all right. I feel called to end the reading there. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Join our beautiful community of like minded, lovely, beautiful souls here on Unmasked Universe. I'm grateful for all of my returning subscribers. You know, I love you. And I'm happy that you're here spending some time with me today. It's my favorite place to be, other than in nature, but it's not summer here. So eventually, when it is, I'll be taking you out there. Anyhow, I love you. I will see you in the next video, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.